Ladies and gentlemen, meet Nikolay Shenkov, a freshman science student from Volgograd, Bulgaria. The city, named after a fabulous female war hero who fought against the Nazis during World War II, lies at the western edge of the Rhodope mountain range in southern Bulgaria. About an hour away from the capital city of Sofia by car, Volgograd lies about 25,000 feet above sea level, with an average annual temperature of 50 degrees Fahrenheit, with highs in the summer reaching just above the mid-60s. While nearly all of his high school friends were applying to schools in the two main cities of Sofia or Varna, Nikolay was eagerly spreading his applications to various international universities, including Edinburgh and St. Andrews in Scotland, Liverpool in England, and the University of Richmond in America. When asked about why he wanted to, quote, get out of Bulgaria, Nikolay is quick to point out that it's not so much about getting out of Bulgaria, but more about getting into another country.
I have always considered it an adventure to explore a new country. We have some problems with the education in Bulgaria. It is very difficult for a person to study whatever he wants, unless it's business or law. As for me, I hope with my education here to continue with theoretical physics.
When asked about the difference in education between here and his country, Nikolay is quick to point out the didactic style of teaching predominant in his country, where lecture and memorization are favored over discussion and critical thinking. He gives an example of a typical English class, where, in addition to reading the selected work, they are required to read a methodical analysis of the work by a college professor, which was clear on a higher intellectual level than them. He compares this to the type of discussion-based learning that he found here, especially in classes such as core and history, where he can develop his own ideas after reading a work, and refine and improve those ideas through classroom discussion with his professors and peers. This stark cultural difference in knowledge and acquisition may not only be contained to the realm of teaching, however. This didactic and pedantic style of teaching reflects the authoritarian communist government that dominated Bulgaria until the fall of the Soviet Union in the early 1990s. In order to get everyone to comply with such an absolute regime, you must comply with what the government wants, without question or hesitation. You become part of the herd, and people in this herd develop authoritarian personalities where they function much better if they're given strict directives, where there is no real mobility, but rather people feel fairly secure in their own little niche, where they don't really have to think for themselves. With the fall of communism, however, this repressive culture has gradually begun to change, as people have been able to break out of this mindset and to start to think for themselves. As an example of this growing progressiveness that comes with globalization, just 2 years ago, Nikolay joined his mother, who was a school teacher in Volgograd, in a teacher's demonstration in Sofia that demanded better pay, better working conditions, and more flexible teaching styles. After a strike that lasted nearly a month, where schools across the nation were closed, the government finally gave in and granted the teachers a partial concession. Nikolay looks back on this moment with a fine smile on his face, and as he looks forward to his brilliant future in science, he is unsure to what country and what culture his passions will take him.